Hey, this is Kirk.
And this is Bird. It's the Kirk and Bird Show, and we are joined today by we're joined by Daryl Overton, head coach of the Freedom Woodbridge Eagles. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Man, appreciate y'all for having me.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah. So, Coach, first of all, you're here in Prince William County. You've been at that program for a couple of years now, and you turned around something, bro. Because I know in the past they didn't have, they didn't get it going for a while. I think the year before you got there might have been the first or second time they made the playoffs. But then did you guys make it your first or was it your second year?
Second year.
Second year, and you've been on a roll ever since. So we're going to focus a little bit. We're going to have you back on to cover your whole history in the county because you played at Hilton and you've got a lot of great tradition and stuff you've done in the community with youth sports. But let's talk about this 2022 Freedom Eagles team. Tell us, Coach, what are you expecting from your guys this year?
Well, honestly, we grew up a lot. We were a young team last year. And I think, like you said, especially like at the skill positions, we had two freshmen make all region. All state sophomore receiver, another all district receiver. So at the playmaker, we returned, at the safeties and the receiver spot and the running back, we returned all our guys.
Right.
Which is, a big plus. I don't think I know we're bigger, faster, stronger. We had a great 7-on-7 season. And, we don't play the normal high school 7-on-7 circuit. We kind of played the all-star team.
Yeah.
So we were able to win, 3 of those. So just show our growth. Where we did lose guys is at linebacker. So we've replaced all 4 linebackers. That's the first time that we've had to do that probably since my second year. Talented guys, but, kind of we hadn't seen them play until we just saw them play in the scrimmage versus the Matha in a game setting. So they were very impressive. You got Devin.
I was there, Coach. I was there. I was up with Jay Gosel in the box, and then I went to have a friend whose son plays for the Matha. And, bruh, y'all, that's a whole thing. Bruh, y'all showed out. I was so proud of y'all, man. But go ahead. We'll let you finish up.
Like you said, we're going to talk and have fun. But, those guys, Devin Reeves, Braxton Hunt, Aaron Duncan, Isaiah Harper, kind of had to put their face in the fan versus probably the most physically imposing team, we're going to face all year, at least until you get into the playoffs, deep into the playoffs. So, they impressed me. We're coming with 2 new quarterbacks, one being Tristan Evans and then Caleb being the other one. But Tristan has a lot of experience because he played a lot. When Davis broke his leg, he played.
2 years ago. Right. Davis broke his leg,
He played a lot of mop-up duty. I think we joke all the time he had better passing stats than some of the starting quarterbacks last year in mop-up duty. So excited. I think you heard me saying too, we returned all our defensive linemen from last year, except for Canberry, but then you add TJ Bush, who is a special talent. And I felt like, in that scrimmage, he was the best player on the field on both sides. So, again, we grew up at the skill positions. I feel like we're going to be pretty, explosive. But, we're one of those teams that we're caught in that rut of you got to go from being good to being great, which is the toughest step to take. So,
right.
Okay. I'm sorry, Kirk. This is when I run the show. All right. So,
I'm gonna go get another cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's how we do this. And when you talking Phoebus or Loudoun County, you got that, bro. But right, I got Coach. So look, Coach. Couple of things. One is I love your offense and defense. I think probably MVPs Davis and Jabril. I coached both of those guys in track. In fact, my son Justin was one of they were with one other person. They were always a strong relay team. I think they finished in nationals a couple of times at the national level in some events. So and those are just not just great athletes, they're some really good kids. And so I'm very proud to see what you've done, what you did with them and how they moved on. Without a doubt, the best offense and defense to me in the district last year. But then, and then we got your nephew at running back. Man, a freshman. He toted the rock last year, man. And you've done that a couple of times. You had who was your running back 5 years ago or 6 years ago to start as a freshman? Was that
Taquan Brown?
Brown, yeah, Taquan Brown. So you had young guys, but then they're experienced, and you I think when you have the seasons you've had the last 2 years, that can, to me, it can help you grow. I know I've just coached youth football in middle school. When I was coaching at Benton and we went undefeated, man, it's hard sometimes to keep kids interested and motivated because it was hard. I didn't have anything to say. Look, but sometimes when you get that one L, not that I want you to get an L, you can put that on film. You'd be like, hey, look, we can point these things out. And the last thing I want to touch on is TJ Bush. He is a beast. Justin played with him last year, Bishop Ireton, and he's a great kid as well. But he brings it. And I again, that DeMatha scrimmage. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like we said, people talked about your linebackers, but there's a video that went viral of your linebacker hitting that DeMatha back. Could you tell us a little bit about those linebackers? Yeah.
Well, like you said, we're excited, about the two guys in the middle. We know they're very talented, and we believe they're going to be recruitable kids. Coach Johnson and Coach Emerson coach that group. And like you said, man, those kids have been, they've been very receptive to the coaching that we've been getting them. And then, like you said, to go in there versus a really good national program, that running back is going to Georgia. You know what I mean? So, again, getting to see him live, like I feel like a lot of coaches fall for that trap. Like, you've been practicing for 3 weeks by yourself, and you feel like everybody you got is good. And
right.
I refuse to believe that until we see it versus somebody else. And I think kind of, what you just said, we kind of try to speed up that learning curve because we don't want to scrimmage anybody that's not going to push us to that. And, so getting to DeMatha, even Patrick Henry Ashland lost in the state semis to Verona.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, scheduling the stone bridges and stuff like that. I feel like that stuff is just as much important to developing people. Aaron Duncan, who actually is, going to replace Jabril, he's like, 6'4", 205? And he couldn't play last year because he was ineligible just because his transfer paperwork went in like a couple weeks too late. So he's had to sit out. And then Isaiah Harper, those guys are new. And again, getting to watch them versus a good team, I'm excited about them. TJ Washington coaches our outsides. So I'm excited about those two groups. And like you said, they're all sophomores with one junior. So a lot of room for growth. And like you said, I feel like they'll be pretty good for a while.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to highlight your schedule. And before we do that, though, we want to ask everybody watching this to subscribe to The Kirk and Bird Show, BYRD. Coach Overton, you're our first request. And ask your kids. The kids usually, they think, they don't necessarily subscribe. And on Twitter, we're at The Kirk and Bird. We got a great following on Twitter. We'll post this. Matter of fact, we're going to post this tonight. So, but you've got, so Rusty and I saw you play Stonebridge. And it was like basically equal. It came down to the end, and it was basically equal. Now, you're playing Riverbend before that, which is a very good program. And then you've got Unity Reed after that. So Stonebridge is going to be a great litmus test. They've won 2 state titles in a row. I saw them scrimmage last Thursday. They're looking strong. They're looking bigger, stronger than last year. That game is going to be a litmus test. It's going to be big for your strength of schedule. I know y'all have that marked down. What are your feelings about that game? Because it has repercussions, or will have repercussions, on your strength of schedule, where you play in the playoffs. And I'm sure your kids are thinking a lot about last year because they were this close.
Yeah. And like you said, Kirk, like I'm kind of like this. I would rather play against great teams and programs. It really don't hurt you. I keep saying that to everybody because if I play Stonebridge and last year they beat us, okay, but they won 10 games. So
right.
Yeah.
I got the initial 22 points, and then I got 1 point every time they won. Okay? So
right.
then I beat Colgan, who I don't know if they won a game. They might have won one game. And I only got 2 points from them all year. Here it is, a team I lost to, I got 9 rider points from. So I try not to, I like playing good teams because I feel like it helps you not only competing wise, but it doesn't hurt you in the playoff hunt. It tends to help you more than hurt you. But you're right. I love playing against that team just because the challenges they propose on what they run offensively. And then their staff, they're well coached. I feel like the chess match, they kind of get the coaching juices going because you got to be on top of your game as well. So, again, not to overlook Riverbend and Unity Reed because I purposely set the schedule up to where we're playing good playoff teams every step way early on, all teams which propose their own challenges. I don't think you're going to see a better athletic team than a Unity Reed. You know what I mean? No matter what the score was, no matter how we beat them, they're going to line up athletes on the field, and you're going to have to be technical down. Riverbend, was a playoff team. They ended up losing. I think they lost in the first round to Stonebridge. But they won most of their games in down there in the Stafford area. They proposed a challenge. And then, like you said, I just like the buildup of our schedule up to Stonebridge, which is, like you said, a team that's a state champ. They got a lot of pride in their program.
And you get them at home this year. That should help out a lot too. But what I did like, I've seen you have some big games. It was at Woodbridge in 2017. The place was packed. You got to get them out there, Coach, because Stonebridge had their fans out. So you got to get them out there and show them that Prince William County support and love for what you're doing, and let Loudoun County know. Because I got to admit, I said on a couple of shows, Loudoun County football has really taken off these last 15, 20 years. When I first started in this area, I referee high school basketball too. And I remember going out to Loudoun in the 90s, man. It was only like 4 schools. I think it was Valley, Loudoun County, Parkview,
Broad Run.
And Broad Run.
The fifth was Potomac Falls.
Potomac Falls was the first.
And then Stonebridge. And now there's 19.
Yeah. But they
Briar Woods was really good.
Briar Woods, yeah.
They won 3 or 4 with Trace McSorley.
Yep. Several programs out there that won state championships at levels
Woodgrove.
3, 4, and 5. Woodgrove, yeah. So my point is, they're getting the atmosphere, and they have that love for football, and it's growing. So I going to some of those games, I see packed house, and I'd like to see that more here in Prince William County. And it happens when you win. So you keep that going, and I'm hoping on that night that you guys have a packed house, because that can be special. That could be a preview of the state champion 6 and 5 team, Coach, let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about your coaching staff and if there are any players in particular you want to highlight for this year. I know you mentioned a few, but especially your coaches, because they do a great job.
Yeah, and again, I gotta, my coaching staff, I mentioned Coach Johnson. He kind of does our inside backers. And he does, some tight end stuff. Crazy thing is he coached me in Dale City Rec when I was 14. So I've since I was that old. He's kind of, my guy that, we kind of hammer over stuff. My brother, Jeff, coaches with us. He's been a great addition the past 2 years. We've lost guys. All my guys have moved on. So I take pride in that they're all
you got a coaching tree now, bro.
At colleges. But Jeff does our DBs. We got Coach Amerson, who came to us from Woodbridge. Young coach, kind of get a little more energy. He's been doing a good job. Coach BT, who handles all our special team stuff, which was a weakness of mine. I felt like, and then I had to hire somebody that was their specialty. And ever since we've got him, we've improved on that side.
That's huge.
That is huge in high school football.
My brother played at Virginia Tech, and that was big there. And then he took that with him when he was coaching at Heritage High School in the early 2000s, and they won a state championship. Yep.
I felt like it was a weakness, and I needed to get better at it. Coach Chris Cousins does our D-line stuff. He's been with us a while. Coach Mooney is probably him and Coach Johnson are, I think, the only guys left from the original staff that we had. Our O-line coach has been consistent, phenomenal as well. Make sure I'm not leaving nobody. Oh, and then, like I said, outside backer addition we got this year, Coach T.J. Washington, who comes over from Forest Park. Great energy, great understanding. So, again, I think, like you said, coaches, we get all the credit, but I've been blessed with some great people around, obviously, to sustain success level. And last but not least, Cody Williams has been with me from the beginning as well. And like you said, it's much bigger than football, at least with our school, and what we have to do for our kids and for our program to be successful. So, again, honestly, I really couldn't do it without, all those guys' help here and there, no matter what. It's a commitment. You see what we do. We took guys on a 7-day college tour. We take all our kids to college camps and stuff like that. So it's a commitment outside of football when you with our staff, and all my guys have done that.
So, Coach, real quick, and I know you don't want to miss anybody, I know, but just so some of our listeners who haven't, heard or know very much about the program, you remind me of my high school coach. You're putting kids in college, man. I played for Dennis Kozlowski, won 3 state championships, and I could go on and on about the number of Division I guys I played with. I know you don't want to miss anybody, but just so people know, can you tell them a couple of the guys? Because we just had Rashawn Lee on the show. Yeah. He played for you, playing, at South Carolina. Can you just let people know some of the guys that have come through your program, where they've been? In
a great way. I think, like you said, last year I put out, it was like 33 Division I players and from Prince William County. And I think we had 14 of them. We had 14.
Yeah. Wow.
Again, like you said, Rashawn starting at South Carolina, Fuga starting at Virginia Tech. And like you said, these guys ain't just there. They are key contributors to their program, not just on the field. They on all the pictures. Amari's at Syracuse.
Yeah.
Even going back a little earlier, Kirk Peterson Jr. Was probably one of the first ones. He went to Morehead State. You have Jason Tarpey at VMI. My son with the VMI.
Your son. Your son.
Yeah, your son.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jason, I like it. I love that you're also putting kids in the HBCUs.
Yep. And like you said, it's Jaden Smith at Norfolk State.
And this is Bird.
Yep. You mentioned Jabril at Jacksonville State. So Davis is at Kennesaw. So it's everybody, man. And I'm not leaving anyone out on purpose, but like you said, for time's sake, we just been committed to that. And even if it's not Division I, like you said, it's about free education and changing, people's lives, and that's kind of what we harp on. And it's important to everybody. It's not just important to me. It's important to everybody. So like you said, we've been blessed to be able to do that. And again, not omitting that anybody else isn't, but, I think we've been able to do it at a high level because we've surrounded ourselves with talents. Even Ramel, we got Ramel is at Delaware State, all working. So like you said, we got guys everywhere. I apologize for the sake of time if I don't get everybody, but it's something we take pride in, not just me, but our entire program. So sweet.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to check out the Rashawn Lee interview, that's episode 89. And then I also wanted to point out, we did a Prince William County overview that's very good, very knowledgeable. That's episode 93. But I wanted to ask you, and, I don't think there's a bad time to ask this question to a coach, and that is this. Can you win the Division VI state championship?
Definitely. Like you said, we talk about it every day. We're a good team.
Definitely. I like that.
We got to go from good to great, though. Can we do it? Definitely. Does that mean it's going to happen? No. But I think we have the team and the staff to do it. It's a lot of things that, we got to do to get there. And I think, like you said, it's the toughest thing to do is go from being good to great because everybody's telling you how good you are.
Right.
And to get into the realm, with Oscar Smith and, Stonebridge. Obviously, we can line up on the field and play with them. We show them that. But there's things that's happening Monday through Thursday at those programs that's not happening at mine, and meaning from a preparation and getting better standpoint. And I'm okay admitting that. I don't ever feel we're going to walk on the field and be out-talented. We just got to do all the things to lead up to getting to that point and being successful when you get there.
Right. That's great. And, the state championship is at ODU again, which is basically a home game for Oscar Smith. And, they don't rebuild, they reload. And they are a loaded football team. And by the way, they're not afraid to tell you. I mean, you talk to the Oscar Smith bunch, they're not going to say we can win it. They're going to tell you we are going to win it. Now, I'm not saying the coaches, but
hey, the worst are the parents, bro. If you look at the Hampton Roads High School football Facebook,
the parents
page,
are off the chain, man.
But it's good. I mean, that's that passion. That's why we do what we do, because of the passion, bro. We came out of high school in '87, and going to Darlin Stadium as a kid, watching those great Hampton High School and Bethel teams back in the day, it made us have a love for the sport. So, Coach, let me ask you this, and then we'll start to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Tell us very briefly, Lord, a little bit about your background. We'll do a bigger overview later.
Yeah, we'll do a profile.
But people know you grew up in Prince William County.
Yeah, so
played at Hilton.
Yeah, so I've been here since I was in the 8th grade. We came here, my family, from Landover, Maryland. And like you said, was a part of 2 state championship teams there.
True, yeah.
And to this day, I tell everybody, it would have been a third if me and Ahmad Brooks didn't break our ankles versus Osborne. We would have, that's the year that my brother came in and we lost to Deep Creek in the state semifinals.
Right.
Yeah. That year, me and Ahmad both broke our ankles in the second to last game of the regular season. So, like, I've been here, entrenched in the area. It's funny, as much as y'all talk about, like, even 7x7, like, I got a lot of ties down there because I played semi-pro down there. So I know the coaches at Indian River. I know Eddie and the guys at Oscar Smith. I know guys that played there with when Phil was there, stuff like that. So trust me.
Phil, yeah.
They talk junk all the time to me as well. And again, I feel like they earn the right. But, me, like you said, I'm from here. My brother played at Freedom, who played in the NFL for 8 years. So got ties to the program. Before that, I was at Colonial Forge. I was part of those teams that went, and we lost to Oscar Smith in the state semis twice down there at their place. So like you said, man, I got a lot of ties, whether it be coaching or playing, to all the guys everywhere, but especially, like you said, right here in the county. My brother, Jeff, who coaches with me, won the state championship in '03 at Hilton versus Oakland.
Yep, that's right.
And state championship. So like you said, we got a lot of ties to this area, on the positive side. Again, like you said, and I feel like those guys down there, they've earned the right to talk their junk because they've done it. So nothing wrong with that.
I was just going to ask you about the path. I guess because of the power rankings, is it more likely that in like a state playoff scenario, which I believe would be the semifinals, that a team like Oscar Smith would actually come to Woodbridge? Is that the case?
So I'm going to say this. I feel like the year we went to the state championship and lost in the state championship to Manchester, remember, our region was South County and all those schools.
Right.
Yeah.
They all those schools out and gave them their own region. And then they gave Westfield, that side of the county, its own region. So then you took in the Richmond, which really is only the Chesterfield schools.
Dale and Manchester. That's about it.
That's it. And put in with the beach, and then you put all the Prince William County schools and Stafford schools in one region.
Yep.
So I feel like they kind of almost guaranteed it. There's going to be a team from Fairfax there.
Oh, we just did a Fairfax. We did a Fairfax review yesterday with my man Jeremiah Davis and why am I blanking on? Oh,
Keith Powell.
I played against him when he was ahead. And I said this for basketball, football. They rigged it. There will always be a Fairfax school in the final. They rigged it. You know, and all you need is a chance. All you need is it don't take but one game. You can win instead of getting beat in the quarters or semis. Yeah.
James Madison last year at ODU, they came in and I think they, Oscar Smith was a little flat. They faked a field goal and scored a touchdown, but after that, Oscar Smith just steamrolled them. So I mean, I would love, but going back with the power rankings. If let's just say you both project well, is it more likely that Oscar Smith will come on the road?
I don't think that happens if we both go 10-0, or let's say somebody from our area goes 10-0. Let me say this. In our region, sometimes what hurts the Cedar Run schools is they play each other twice. So you're not going to get enough points to make Oscar Smith travel. The last time that happened was Colonial Forge, that year that Massaponax was good. Everybody in Colonial Forge's district was good, so they ended up having more points. It makes it hard to outpoint them, but I think with our schedule, Stonebridge, Riverbend, Uni Reed having good seasons, we have the potential to gain more points.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The way that goes, it's going to come down to how successful the other teams are you play.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? They get a little bit of because all the teams they play are D6. So they're going to get 26 points for all their wins. So it kind of works funky. Like, even like you said, Battlefield, Patriot, the Cedar Run is a good district, but you kind of canceling each other points out because you all playing times twice.
So Coach Overton, I want to give some bulletin board material. All right. Because I'm all about being real, keeping it real, and I'm picking Oscar Smith to win the state championship. No disrespect to you, but that's the team I'm picking. Now, if y'all win, I will have quite a few things to say. But just tell your kids that this dude from the 757, is picking Oscar Smith, and that's a little bulletin board material. So they got a great staff down there. They're always loaded. But, with the way you showed out against DeMatha and the schedule that you're playing, you said definitely, absolutely. When you ask a coach, can you win? I think when a coach says, well, we're going to take one game at a time, I think the kids want to hear, yeah, absolutely. Now, are we going to? That's a different story, but sure we can. And I'm going to tell you right now, your team can win the state championship, but I'm picking Oscar Smith.
So we asked the same question to the new coach at my high school, Bethel High School, David Porter, and he was like, yeah. I mean, and then he's got a big rebuilding job there. But he said, look, I have my schedule built all the way out to December 10th. Like, I already know the hotel we're going to stay in. Like, so that confidence and that planning and is get that belief in there helps to build the program. So the last thing.
I don't want to admit it. I agree. They earned it. I feel like that's a safe bet, though, Kurt. Like, it's easy to bet on them because they did it. You know what I mean? But I don't want to overlook nobody in our area because I feel like our region is toughest one to get out of. I will say.
Did you see the?
I agree with that 100%. You're the best Division 6 region.
So did you see it on the Facebook?
It's always
on the Prince William. They had the top 25, and Prince William County had, I think, pretty much the most teams in the top 25 for Division 6. And I'll say, and then we'll wrap this up, Coach. But I think that my top teams, I don't think Oscar Smith's going to win it. I think it's going to come down to either you guys, Patriot, or Centerville, that could win it this year. So I just have to see a real game first. But those are the teams I.
Hold on. Oh, back up there. You think a Northern Virginia team's going to win the state championship? You don't think Oscar Smith's going to win it?
No.
Okay. Just had to emphasize that, Coach. No pressure. No pressure.
I think two of the best teams in the state are Patriot and Freedom, and that's going to be something. If you guys meet, and you will have to eventually, if you stay on that track to meet in the regional final. So, but thank you, Coach. Man, you have really blessed us today. Is anything you want to plug? Anything we can help you with? Let us know. This is your chance.
Well, I want to say this. I appreciate you guys, and I want to say this because I think everybody in my community, our community, need to get behind you guys in this. What you're doing, it's awesome for the kids. It's awesome for the area, both areas, all areas, football, and I think it's something that everybody needs to get behind and support. I'm gonna make sure my guys follow it. And make sure my guys subscribe to it. It's an awesome thing. I appreciate you guys. Again, not about me, but about our area. Like you said, I love to hear all the schools in our area. And I think this is a great thing for the community and football. Period. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. Much love and respect.
Yes, Coach. Thanks, Coach. And then the last thing I wanted to do is, and I already forgot because I'm old. All right, but yeah. I know what it was. We are going, when we put this out, we're going to have a there is a competition. We're going to interview about 12 coaches overall, and so we want to see what coach gets the most views. Right now, we interview LC Bird, coach.
LC Bird is man.
He's got over 400 views. So we're going to, let's see if Freedom can have the most views on our YouTube channel. All right.
Oh, we're going to beat 400 views. But Chesterfield is like a cult. So that ain't even fair.
wait till we do Oscar Smith.
All right. Well, look, Coach, we are blessed again to have had you. This was Coach Daryl Overton of the Freedom Woodbridge Eagles here joining us today. And thanks again, Coach. This has been Rusty Bird and
Kirk Hilliard
on the Kirk and Bird Show. We're out.